Today we're going to be looking at this 29,000 mile 2001 Honda S2000. Now the S2000 holds a special spot in my heart because this is why I started YouTube. I made a buyer's guide video and YouTube was so nice. They must have put me in the front because I got 200,000 views. It was super cool. So just quick personal fun fact. All right, let's dive right in. So our current bid is $20,000. I have a feeling that that's definitely going to end either around closer to the 30,000. I feel like it's going to be one of those where people are going to bid a lot at the end. Ends in one day, 21 comments. Pretty straightforward. So we're going to be talking about this car. I know a little bit about a different generation of it called the AP2. This is the AP1, and we'll talk further about that here in a bit if you guys aren't familiar with that. So as you see, they talk about the AP1 in the ad. So as our second video, if you looked at our first video, we talked about how we do our videos here, and we're going to be just looking at the BAT essentials. So first off, if you look at the VIN, this is a really fun fact right here. Look at that AP1 within the VIN. Woo! So let's go ahead and start off by talking about AP1 and AP2. Essentially, they were generations during the production of this car here in America and pretty much everywhere else, if I'm assuming. So the AP1 was the first one. It came out in 2000, and a lot of people thought that the Honda S2000 meant that the 2000 part was part of the year 2000. That was a coincidence. As a matter of fact, Honda S2000, the 2000 stands for the engine size. And the reason why I know is because the Honda S600 and the Honda S800, the S600 came with the 600cc motor, and the S800 came with an 800cc motor, and the S2000 came with a 2.0, also 2000cc motor. So that is why they call it the S2000, if you guys didn't know. So the AP1 was the first generation. It was the one it was Honda's initial design, and as it went on, there was a major change. They upped it by 0.2 liters, and they did a lot of changes on the AP2 model. Now, you guys probably have seen sport fans, rivals, at sport bars or somewhere else, and how crazy they are. Well, within the S2000 community, people are absolutely nuts when it comes to AP1 versus AP2. It is crazy. They're attacking each other. And I haven't had the privilege of owning the AP1. I've only owned a 2006 AP2. And I might be wrong, but I believe AP2 started in 2005, I think so. And you guys could tell me in the comments. But in my honesty, just knowing a little bit about both, I just think they both have pros and cons. A lot of people they're just fans of one or the other. But anyways, moving on. 29,000 miles. Let's go ahead and do our regular math here. So we're in 2022, and we're going to go minus 2001. All right, so 21 years. So we're going to divide 29,000 divided by 21 years, and that's 1,300 miles, almost 1,400 miles. Okay, so if that was done consistently, that would have been a good thing. Then we have our 2.0 liter inline 4, which is cool. Anytime a motor is inline, it makes me happy. I think that's how motors should have came, because just design and engineering wise, it makes a lot of sense. Now, these motors came with Honda's famous VTEC, and one thing about it, I know in the AP2, when you put an exhaust, you could hear the changeover, which is pretty cool. You're like, bah! And it's a lot of fun when it comes to VTEC. A lot of memes out there. All right, now another fun fact for you guys is in the AP1s, unfortunately, you couldn't really do a lot of ECU modifications or tunes. But in the AP2, they had what they called a Hondata. So you could actually adjust your VTEC point. And what I mean by point is I forgot what range VTEC hit in the AP2, but you could adjust that lower or higher, which was pretty neat. So it could activate. The benefits were controversial, but you could do that. We had a 6-speed manual transmission with that 6-speed helping you in the highway. And I've actually driven S2000 across the country, did a cross-country trip in it. And not the most comfortable car. And the wind noise, because it's a convertible, even with the top up, was a little annoying, just to let you guys know. All right, so new Formula Red paint. You guys are going to find this interesting because there is an official color for the S2000. This isn't my opinion. This is a fact. So the father and the grandfather S2000 is the S600 S800, and their kind of presentation or standard color was red. So red is correct for the next S car. Black leather upholstery. Now, I got in a lot of trouble by telling people that the upholstery on the S2000 sucks. It's true. The leather in the seats, something about it just once it goes out, it just starts peeling like an orange. Now, a lot of these cars that have been indoors and well taken care of, they're going to definitely see a better chance of not seeing that, but it's very common to see S2000 seats beat up. All right, 6-inch 5-spoke wheels, roll hoops, which is that, black convertible soft top, air conditioning, cruise control, and the other stuff. So let's go ahead and scroll down and look at some of these pictures so I could share with you guys some stuff. All right, so it is a convertible, but it's real popular to see these cars with the hard top. They're kind of expensive, and finding one that matches your car is a little hard, but they look really good with them. I really like the design of the S2000. I think it's pretty cool. I think the rear looks a little aggressive. A fun fact about this dual exhaust, it really is single exhaust to a dual exhaust. A lot of people actually just put a single exhaust in there for weight reduction, which I did, but it kind of looks funky because if you go back here, you have to fill in one of those little gaps and it doesn't really look right. If you know me, I love leaving my cars stock. Some people call me boring. I call it being simple and enjoying how they came. But this one looks great stock. Oh, look at that. I've been starting to do some polishing with orbital polishers and all that. And I'm like, but I bet you this car would look great with the single stage or dual stage polish. I know I sound cool, right? And then the convertible top is power, which is cool. If I'm correct. I think so, yeah. I'm not sure about the AP1, but the AP2 is. And I think it is, yeah, because we'll look at the buttons here in a second. Yeah, I see the buttons. We'll show you. So here is that famous leather I was telling you about. This one was pretty well taken care of, but if you look here, this is the area that stuff goes bad. And as a matter of fact, you'll see some people patching it up or actually it's just replacing those seats because they get bad. Real bad. No tears there, so that's good. All right. I feel like we could use a little bit of a brush to get inside those buttons. It's that OCD in me. You know, these things in all cars, they get beat up. And I'm a big believer that if you can, always buy an extra one of these because later on you could just replace it. It'll just look really good. And the interior in the center console right here looks very different from the AP2. It doesn't have leather. I feel like that part definitely is a little more streamlined and a little bit nicer. But again, that's a personal preference. And right here, this is the button for the roof. So it is electrical, like the other one. And I think the center of the S2000 is real neat. I think it's pretty simple. But one of the most popular things is going to be this gauge cluster. People love these. As a matter of fact, people resto mod these in all sorts of make and models. They're just really awesome because they rev up, they're digital, and they're still cool even in 2020, which I totally agree. Not a bad car. Based on some of the dirt and stuff like that, I feel like, it's definitely a garage car and probably not driven that much, but in good condition. I would just make sure that the maintenance is done. I see quite a bit of dirt. Kansas must get dirt. Yep, and this big old air box. Oh my gosh, I did so much research on aftermarket intakes and all that, and the original airbox is the best. Isn't that crazy? Not really. That's typically the case. Not bad. This car is not bad. I feel like something about the dirt, something here would definitely just probably needs a nice detail. That's about it. Looking at these control arms, I'd probably want to look at those a little closer, but I think they're fine. I think that's just surface. But overall looks good to me. I mean, this is a fun car, and one of Honda's actually one of the funnest cars in general. I mean, this is one of those cars that people love. Well, guys, I hope you learned something because I did, I love that S2000. Well, you guys stay tuned for the next car, and we will see you soon.